Can we keep it real? Can we get cozy up in here? Like, are we done performing? Hello? Is this thing on? Welcome back to my channel. I'm just Vavi. If you're new here, this is Centered and Unfiltered. This is a space dedicated to exploring the art of a balanced life while embracing the messy, the raw, and the real aspects of this human experience. Here, we'll dive deep into conversations about wellness, self-growth, and staying grounded through it all. In my personal walk, my personal day, I'm a full-time artist as well as a wellness advocate. So there are things that I bring to this platform that I'm already practicing in my day-to-day experiences, both as an entrepreneur, as a Black woman, and as a mother of 3. So today I want to talk about personal growth. As you see in the title, it says, don't panic. Don't panic. I know you panicking. You landed on this video for a reason. So before we go forward, like, comment, subscribe, and at the end of this video, please share if you resonate with anything that you hear today. So, self-growth, let's talk about it. What does it even mean to focus on self-growth? And I highlight the phrase personal growth because it seems that in this 2024 social media age, there's so much projection and judgment and comparison that, excuse me, I had some ginger apple juice. Oh my gosh. And I heated it up. Amazing. Amazing. Just had to share that because I'm fasting until 12 o'clock. That's actually a part of my personal development strategy for myself. I fast every day until 12 p.m. unless I'm doing a more intentional fast that covers a span of days. But I'll cover that a little later in the video. Bear with me. You'll see in my videos that I can jump around. Shout out to adult ADHD. But it is a superpower if you learn your formula. Hence, personal development and personal growth. There are times where you come to a crossroad where you realize what no longer serves you, and you have to dig deep and unpack what is it that I'm dealing with? How can I creatively respond to this thing? So let's talk about creative responses. When you're at that crossroad of you're deciding if you want to practice the same old habits and deal with the same result, or you want to lean into what I say surrendering to the path of least resistance. Growth is hard, growth is messy, and it can sometimes be super confusing, especially when your environment doesn't seem to align with what you feel deep down inside, that calling, that inner calling that's telling you, hey, these things no longer serve you. Who you've been is not what you're interested in staying. You are becoming something new. Let me change this situation. My head was cut off. You're interested in becoming something new. And let me tell you, the uncomfy. You got to get uncomfy to grow. So what do you do when it's time to plant seeds for newness? Now let's think about the process of planting seeds. You don't just throw them in there. I mean, you can, but for the best results, let's know what you're dealing with. What seeds are you planting? Let's get specific. Who are you becoming? What does he look like? What does she look like? What does she do in this scenario? What is he thinking, when he's prepping for opportunities? Are we thinking in this manner? These seeds that we're planting, how will they grow? So that goes into cultivating the soil. Now, your soil is a plethora of things. Your soil is your mindset. Your soil is your diet. Your soil is your environment. Your soil is your circle. These things have to be disrupted. They have to be cultivated and changed. Do you know what it is you need for your seeds to be watered? Are you ready to do the things that are required to level up? That's a real question. And let's just simply ask ourselves, am I ready to level up? Am I ready to break through these outdated barriers that's keeping me from my blessings? Well, let's talk about one thing: the actions that need to align. The first thing, your diet. So, upon self growth, personal growth, your formula involves so many things, including what you put in your body. It's said that your gut is like your second brain. So, let's say you have fast food 3 times a week, and there are requirements at your job that is stressing you the F out. So let's say it's the end of the week. It's been a rough one. You're looking forward to the weekend, and you have had Wendy's, Burger King, McDonald's. You are in a point of lethargic habits. You're used to feeling this way. You're used to feeling a drag. You get yourself out of bed each morning feeling like, I cannot wait for the weekend. Normal, the normal. But let's flip the script. What if, hear me out, what if you take your 3-day-a-week fast food situation into, say, 1 day a week, you have some fries, and that's pushing it. But how bad do you want the change? That's a question you have to ask yourself, because when you're putting all this processed food into your body, your second brain, it affects your mental capacity, your emotional stability, and how you handle and respond to what life is throwing at you. Let's call them triggers. If you want to be able to view a trigger as something that you are able to not only get through, but focus on what is in your control, which is yourself. Those choices that you're choosing when you're choosing your food, your diet, and all those things, they contribute to feeling out of whack, out of balance, and out of control. So it could be you driving on the highway and someone's driving recklessly and they cut you off, or whatever the case is. You can look at it as a personal attack that you have to respond to. Say you speed up so they can see that, oh, I see you, and whatever happens from there. Or you can look at it as like, all right, let me chill, let me lay back and let them get out my proximity so that I can continue my ride, not only in a safe way, but mentally, I'm not carrying you with me. You're not allowed in my mental process for today. I have things to get done. I have things to do. I have to show up as my best and highest self. So does my best and highest self actually fall for this situation that pulls me down? Or do I let you go about your way so I can continue to focus on who I am and who I am trying to become? Now, this can come off deep, or overly deep to some people. But in that moment, it's that train of thought that can truly determine a life-altering situation that didn't have to be. A lot of triggers present themselves in that way. From the outside looking in, they can be very small. But if you're inside of yourself in that chaos and something just comes on at the right place, right time, in the wrong way, it can be life-altering, especially if you have a goal in mind and you know that you need to show up in a certain way and you're just not mentally prepared for it, and something comes and throws you off. Now let's highlight the title of this video: personal growth. Personal. My personal growth is me and me. So if something comes out of whack into my personal bubble, my personal space where personal growth is happening, and I let it alter me, it's no longer my personal growth. Now you all up in my Kool-Aid, you all up in my business. My business is to tend to me and what's in my control. So if I focus on something that is outside of my control, now I'm out of whack, I'm out of alignment, and I'm out of balance. So let's run it back. Run it all the way back. Monday, first day of the week, work week. I decide that Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, which would usually be my fast food days, I'm choosing fruit only. This is my fasting option. I'm choosing fruit, whether it be in its raw form or I blend it, whatever the case is, I'm having fruit Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Now, let's say that I just started, so my body's adjusting. I have cravings, I have urges, I am full and surrounded of tests and urges to break my fast. But instead, I think about the deeper element. I'm not thinking about, oh, my flesh wants food. I'm thinking of, why am I doing this? What is my why? What is my intention here? I'm learning to discipline my body through devotion. I love the word devotion. If you've seen any of my other videos, I refer to devotion as my discipline. I don't use the word discipline because it's kind of heavy and it puts me in a space that my inner child doesn't really agree with. So I have to tune my mind to something that is more of a language that I can digest, which is devotion. I am devoted to my highest self. So it is including the choice to not put processed foods in my body in abundance. Because look, let's be real. Sometimes we will venture off and try a little here, try a little there. I just got back from vacay, so of course I was indulging in some foods, and I still came to the realization that I don't need it. I feel better when I am devoted to eating in a certain way that brings me clarity, brings me peace, allows me to feel stronger in my day-to-day walk, in my power of choice. When things come that could possibly be a trigger, now, because I have the clarity, I have the consistency of an eating pattern that helps me stay disciplined, because I'm giving myself actually something that is nourishing to the process of who I'm becoming. Not just nourishing to my body, that I'm healthy in a physical way, that's awesome, but also now it's serving a greater good and in a bigger purpose. Everything's connected. So let's say that I didn't fast Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and by the end of Tuesday, there's a trigger. And Monday, I explode because I'm stressed from Tuesday. Had I been fasting, there's a higher percentage of me being able to think rationally about what my response would be from that situation. Training ourselves to look at life from a new perspective is a super powerful tool in personal development. It's your personal journey. It's happening to you. You may go through something and you seek advice. You seek someone to comfort you or something to comfort you. But that's temporary gratification in a moment where you really need to understand that things happen for a reason. Sometimes things happen in order to shape you. But if you're not allowing the shaping because you're being resistant or afraid or fearful and all these things that pretty much contradict you being your best self, you're doing yourself a disservice, to be honest. Say you have triggers that come through your environment or people, which both of which are pretty much out of your control beyond setting boundaries and such, which is a whole other conversation. But these triggers happen. And they hit you in a space where you're saying, you know what, fuck it. Or you say, you know what, I knew this was going to happen. All low vibrational responses, right? And it makes you take your eye off the fact that you are on a journey. You can't focus on the destination and not pay attention to your daily walk, which is the journey. All these key aspects that will get you to becoming who you want to be. But in the now, in the present, you got to think, what would he do? What would she do? The person that you want to become. So why wait to respond in the way that who you are becoming would respond and would handle it? It kind of sucks to let things control you, because I've witnessed it happen in people that I love. And I hate to watch people that I love respond foolishly. As a mother, I have a son who's an athlete. That's a very triggering situation with competition and, possible rivalries, all these things, how you respond truly matters, because who do you want to be? Who do people see when you walk in the room? And it all plays a part with the integrity of who are you when no one's watching? What are your choices? How are you handling the confusion, the disarray, the disorder, which is the chaos thing that can be possible when life be lifing? How do you respond? What are you feeding your second brain so that your mind is able to process, to understand, to give space, so you can ask yourself, like, what do I feel about this? Why do I feel what I feel about this? And what am I going to do about it? You can ask yourself these questions and also follow up with something that always resonated with me since the first time I heard it. Will it matter in 5 minutes? Will it matter in 5 days, 5 weeks, 5 months, 5 years? And according to your answer, how much energy does it deserve? And after you assess all those things, you can better move. Allow yourself to be wise. We act like we don't have access to divine energy around us. We are spiritually protected, and we also have the power of free will. So you get to choose how you want to move. So if you move like you're not of value, then what do you expect is going to be the response that the energy around you is going to magnetize? Like, I'm going to move like I know who I am. I'm going to move like I know that behind the scenes, I'm devoted to all the things that is creating who I am. My value is magnified before I open my mouth because of the devotions I'm doing when nobody's watching. You feel me? So we can't be mad at the work you don't do. That's personal. In my personal space, my growth is serious. I take myself serious. So when I walk out the door, people take me serious because I take myself serious. Like I said, you can't cry about the work you're not doing. You can't cry about disrespect coming your way when you didn't set the boundaries, you didn't set the tone for who you are and who you are becoming, because they're the same person. It's just the actions and the placement, the positioning evolves. So be who you're becoming right now. Walk your personal growth journey with the requirements rather than letting your expectations become burdens. You can only expect what you want to expect from yourself with confidence. Like, you can place expectations on environments and people around you and be disappointed. That's basically that's the formula. Expectations on people or things outside of yourself, there's a high percentage of disappointment. Expectations on yourself and showing up and doing those things, then you're better served to be in a space of potential and pride and what's the word I'm looking for? I want to say satisfaction even. If you learn how to encourage yourself, how to love yourself, how to be devoted to the things that you know is required of you, you can feel satisfied. Even the small things, your small wins become so big when you learn how to really dive into your personal journey, your personal walk, because no one else has to understand it. No one else has to be the fuel to hold you up and keep you. Like, you can have a village, which is awesome. That's a great benefit to your journey. But if it hasn't quite arrived yet, if you don't feel your village just yet, show up for yourself better than anybody else could. That was one of my favorite mantras when I had my third child. I have 3. My third child, it was something in me that said, you know what? Who I've been is not who I'm becoming. And this leap is going to take a lot more than what I've been doing. So how am I going to do this? Because no one else understands what I'm going through. No one else feels the weight of what I feel. And now I have children looking at me and watching me. So how will I transform my life in the midst of so much pain and so much burden that I had self-imposed upon me, looking outside of myself, looking at everything that was outside of my control. It was something that I really had to take a look at and understand that I was way more powerful than I gave myself credit for, simply by not knowing that personal growth meant personal walk, personal decisions, personal devotion. It was personal. It was something for me that no one could change unless I gave them the power to change me, change my decisions, change my mind. You have to challenge yourself and understand that stagnant energy and unnecessary struggle, everything is tied to how you're emotionally connected to the thing, or what your perspective is so fixed on. You may feel like, this is me, this is just who I am. Okay. And just who you are will be who you will always be. But if you know you have goals, you know you have desires, or you know you're just feeling unsettled inside with where you're at, it's going to take for you to peel back those layers and really accept your personal walk. Now, if you don't have a spiritual practice, if you don't have a spiritual connection with the creator, with the universe, whomever, there's so many names, but there's a source energy that's bigger than all of us, that's actually guiding, protecting, covering. All those things are happening outside of our scope. Like sometimes our scope is so fixated on what we're conditioned to believe and conditioned to look at and conditioned to set our standards to achieve. But when you actually turn that off for a second, tune into yourself, go inside to your personal journey, your personal walk, that energy is there. They're existing in every moment of every day. When you feel like I can't do this anymore, when you feel like I am defeated, when I feel like I don't know myself anymore, I don't know my why, I don't know my purpose, be still. Grab a piece of paper, write down your truth, write down that honest to God truth, and allow yourself to receive energetically what will come from that. If you focus, if you realize your personal journey is yours, tune out the world and understand that you have the universe inside of you. It's your personal growth. Your growth is personal. Make it personal. It's yours. Mindset is everything. Make your daily process clear and simple. So we talked about diet, talked about environment and people. We need to talk about how you can show up for yourself better than anyone else could. And honestly, doing that teaches others how to treat you, how to serve you, how to love you the way that you need to be loved. That's how you magnetize these things, by understanding that everything that is inside of you is within your control, and take it, own it. Own it. Because anything else outside of your control that you focus on can taint your experience, and it can distract you from the small wins and the opportunities to lean into gratitude. Gratitude. Last but not least, gratitude. Oh, it's such a major, major part of the process. If you could learn to have gratitude for the things that you already have, for the pieces of you that are already existing that you may not give credit for, like you're kind and you're understanding and you show up for others and you're creative and you have ideas. You just are in a battle, you versus you, which is fair. We all go through it. But you have to learn to encourage yourself. Have encouragement at the forefront of your thoughts. When you feel like it's distant and sit down, write a list, 5 things you're grateful for every day. This small gesture, this small step in making sure that your mind is on something that you're grateful for, allow the universe to answer you. Oh, you're grateful for this? Awesome. I think you're sending out some signals that you're ready for more, and double down on that. Yes, I'm ready for more. I eat well. I take care of myself. I'm moving my body the best that I can. What I don't know, I use technology that's at the tip of my fingers I research, I ask questions, I Google. Chat GPT will tell you a whole plethora of routines if you ask it. At this point, there's no excuses. Your personal journey is yours. Now, while practicing how to regulate your habits, many of which are centered around delayed gratification, the fasting. And you can fast from social media, you can fast from people, you can fast from places, habits that don't serve who you're becoming. It's important to continue the consistency of this thing, even when it's hard. Now, every day you can show up different. Every day is going to be different and require a different version of you. But if you stay focused on who you want to become and what is required of you, and you just show up every day giving your best, and sometimes your best is 30%, sometimes your best is 80%, sometimes your best is in the middle. Think about the momentum that you are adding each and every time that you commit to your personal growth. Ask yourself, what would your future self do? And do it. Don't wait. Don't wait for the perception of how you see things or want to see things to take form. Blind faith is faith. The size of a mustard seed, all those things that contribute to who you're becoming is a matter of your mindset, your personal growth. Personal growth is yours. Make it personal. And like I said, don't panic. If you are going through a challenge, good. It's on purpose. It's to just measure where you at on your faith walk. Where's your mindset at? Where's your diet at? Where's your physical movement at? Where is your encouragement at? Where are you? And if you're not where you want to be, which in many cases we are not exactly where we want to be honest, be raw, write it down. And also write down where you want to be and who you want to become. I don't care if you done it yesterday. I don't care if you did it last week. Do it again. Continue to do it over and over and over. Put that energy out there and stay focused. Stay clear. If you get unclear, if you get cloudy, if you get unorganized and disarray, that's natural. Tune back in. Tune back in. Because there is an element of faith that will carry you through every aspect of this journey. And it's always going to be at different levels, but allow that faith to exist there. And I'm here. We're in this together. Run this video back. Watch it again. Comment. Tell me what resonates with you. Tell me where you're struggling. Check out my other videos. At the end of the day, we are here on this planet to live this human experience as purposed spirits. Now, we can all believe whatever we want to believe, but just know, I know that we were here purposed to do something positive, to do something meaningful, to live purposeful, to live centered and unfiltered. We're not pretending here. This is not performative. But I do congratulate you for leveling up. I do congratulate you for becoming better and more and surprising yourself with who you became, who you're becoming on this journey and this process. Last but not least, if you have something that you want to share that you feel accomplished about, that you did that, share it. I look forward to reading it. You're not alone. We are all here, right here, striving to be better. So until next time, in the next topic, chew on this. Understand that no one is perfect, nowhere. And that's the beauty of it. Let's stay raw. Let's stay centered and unfiltered.